Welcome back to Rambling Rose Farmhouse and to my channel. I haven't created a video like this in quite some time, but I'm really happy to be doing one today. Today I'm going to make an Easter table with all things that I already have. So this is going to be a no-spend project, and it's all going to be thrifted and secondhand items that I already have, that I have here at my house, and I'm just going to gather things up from around my house and make this table. And doing this project really helped me a lot. There's been a lot of things happening in the last few weeks that have just made life feel very difficult, and so I am really glad that I took the time to, I guess, have a little bit of fun and create something pretty. And so I hope that this will also encourage you to do the same thing. So I'm starting with vintage linens. If you've ever seen any of my decorating videos, I'm sure that you know that I really love vintage linens. They're one of my favorite things. And so I use them a lot. I went to get my tablecloth out and I saw this table runner and I thought, I don't think I've ever used this table runner anywhere. So I decided that I wanted to use it on my table also because I think that it's just really pretty. I love the detail. I love the handwork. I just love everything about vintage linens. And so I decided to layer this table runner over my tablecloth. Now, I would like to know what y'all think about that. Do you think that's too much? Should I have only used the tablecloth and not the table runner? Give me your thoughts on it. But I do think it is really beautiful. It's not perfect, but it's beautiful. And here's the tablecloth. It's just a very simple tablecloth. I've used it before, but I also think that it is very beautiful too. And I knew that I wanted to create a neutral background because I have something that I'm going to use for the focal point of the table that really is going to be the color. So that is why I was going with a white tablecloth, and then the white table runner. And now I am going to put out some plates. So these are also plates that I bought several years ago at an antique store. They are ironstone, and I just think they're really beautiful. They're large plates, and they also, they are neutral. They're a little bit off-white. You can probably tell that against that white table runner, and they're English ironstone, but I really like them. They're perfect to use when you're not wanting your color to be coming from the dishes. And so I use these plates all the time. They just go with anything, and so I really love those. I have these little candlesticks that my daughter gave me, and so I'm going to use those again, white. And here is the thing that is kind of the inspiration for the table. These are some napkins that I picked up about 3 years ago, I think, from Dirt Cheap. If you don't know what Dirt Cheap is, it's a store that gets like things that were returned from other stores, and so they just have, like, I don't know, they could have anything, but it's like a thrift store for things that are new, because the items, I think, mostly are all new, except for, some of them might have been used because they've been returned to stores. But you really have to dig in there to find something that you like or that you want. And so I was in there looking for something else, and I found these napkins. I fell in love with them and bought them. But like I said, I think that was 3 years ago, and I have not used them yet. I was looking in my sewing cabinet a few days ago for something, and I saw the napkins in there, so I pulled them out, and that's really when I decided that I wanted to do an Easter table. And so that's how this whole project got started, was from the napkins. So like I said, they are what I'm wanting to be, I guess, the center of attention of the table, and where my color and everything is going to come from. So I really like them. So as soon as I started putting them out on the table, I decided that I really needed to go and wash them and then iron them so they would look better, because they really were not looking very nice coming out of that package from the store. So that's what I did, and now they do look a whole lot prettier. And so I'm going to go ahead and get them all put out here. I know for me, I don't know if it's this way for you, but for me, so many times I just get so bogged down in the things that I have to do every day, those tasks that we just have to do to keep the household running, that I don't take the time to do something extra, to do something like set a pretty table, or bring out the pretty silverware, or the pretty glasses, or the pretty napkins. And so it makes me feel so good when I do something like this, but I don't always let myself take the time to do it, because I just feel so overwhelmed with all of the daily tasks. So I would encourage you, if you are the same way, if you don't let yourself sometimes just take the time to do something that you enjoy and that brings you joy and that makes you feel good, then I would encourage you to do that, because it's amazing what a difference it can make in how you feel. So here, these are some decoupage Easter eggs that I made a few years ago. I have a video showing you how I did that. They turned out really good, and I enjoyed them that year, but they got put up also, and I haven't really used them in the last couple years. So I'm happy to be putting those on the table too. And this container is a false graph little container that I picked up from a thrift store a few years ago also. It, I'm sure, was supposed to have a lid, and it doesn't have a lid anymore. I'm sure that's why it was at the thrift store, but I like it just to use it like this. I think it makes a pretty centerpiece, and I usually have it with different things in it. These are the candle holders that my daughter had given me, and they're just nice and white and go perfectly with that white background that I wanted my table to have. So my silverware is one of the things I do want to talk about a little bit, because it is something that we use on a daily basis, and it is something that brings me joy. So back when I got married, which was over 40 years ago, it was really, I guess, like the thing to have a nice all matching set of stainless steel dinnerware is what it was called, I guess. And that is what I had starting out. I just had, they all were the same. They all matched. They were stainless steel. I'm not saying they weren't pretty, but over the years, I started seeing these just single pieces, or maybe sometimes a few pieces together, of silver plate, old, silverware from years back. And I remember my mama having some of these when I was growing up, and I always thought those were really pretty. So I just started collecting them. When I started collecting these, you could get them for about $1 a piece. They are a lot more expensive now, but I have a pretty nice collection, and so we use these every day, and I really love them. They're some of the things that do bring me joy. And when I set my table, I try to not put matching sets together, but to kind of, let them be very eclectic. Now, these candles that I'm using came from Aldi, so they are very inexpensive, and I did not get them this year. I got them a couple of years back, maybe even last year, I'm not sure. But I know that when I saw them and I saw the color of them, I was thinking about these napkins, and I was thinking that I would use them together. If you can see, they are like a really light dusty pink, and they don't match the napkins, but they're definitely in the same color family. So they blend really well with them. This is the first time I've looked at them together, but I know that when I bought them, I had the napkins in mind because I had already previously purchased the napkins. And so I was really happy to be able to use the candles and the napkins on my table this year. And now for the glasses, I think this is the last thing that I need here. I am trying to keep the table really simple. But these are Pioneer Woman glasses. I got these from a garage sale, and I really like them. We've had these for a long time, and we've used them several times. I like to be able, I used to do it more, to set a pretty table and let my kids use the fancy glasses. And I like these because they're really thick and heavy, and they won't break easily like so many stemmed glasses. They're really thin and they will break really easily. So I love these Pioneer Woman glasses for that purpose. They just seem to work good, and like I said, we've been using them for years. None of them have gotten broken, so that's a good thing. So here it is. I am so glad that I took the time to do this. I know it will make my family feel special, and it just has brought me some joy. So like I said, I would like to encourage you to do the same. I hope that that's what this video will do for you, is encourage you to take some time to create some beauty in your home, in whatever that means for you, which that may mean picking flowers out of the yard and putting in a vase, or maybe doing a sewing project or a painting project, just whatever it is that makes you happy and that brings joy to you, and that you can share with your loved ones, and that it'll bring them joy also. So I appreciate you being here today. If you liked this video, I would appreciate it if you would give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you back again here. Thank you for being here today. Let me know what you think, what you like about the table, what you don't like about it, and also what kind of content that you would like to see in the future. So happy Easter to you and your family.